Shalom, 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 Yasha'Allah. This your boy, Brother Shama Allah, back at you with another quick edifying video. Today's lesson is going to be called Ease Predictive Programming. Right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say Halal Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahawah, and his only begotten Son's name, who you ignorantly call Jesus, whose name is Yahawashi. Right, and the Holy Spirit, which is the Rawchaa Qadash, double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, who have ruled well to the Spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days, and has pushed this gospel and this truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom. Another mighty shalom to all you Akim out there laboring on the highways and hedges and on the unicorn, which is this internet, pushing this 100% doctrine, this 100% truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. A mighty shalom to you all as well. All right. Like I said, today's lesson is going to be called Ease Predictive Programming. And I was last night watching this YouTuber, his name is Blackwoods or whatever. And he was going through, you know, the how in The Simpsons they use, you know, they'll have something and they might, you know, do it years off, like have an episode and then it mimics what's going on in reality, you know, and, you know, they were just like, people acting like they're amazed, right? You have somebody in the comments says the founder of The Simpsons is a 33rd degree Freemason, you know, these type of things, you know, but ultimately we know that E uses the, you know, his media, right, to kind of push his agenda, you know, with the predictive programming. All right. And I'm just going to, so one of the things, you know, he was showing was, it was an episode where, and I'm not showing the video, I'm just showing, I just took some clips or whatever, but he shows how basically Springfield was caught on fire, and it was basically, it was like a ray that was coming out of the sky, right? We know that E has that weapon, you know, to do, you know, and you see the only thing that was left was this thing wrapped in blue, you know, and they kind of show you that, but everything else you see is smoldering and on fire, right? And, you know, same kind of things happened, we know, in Maui, and we know the same things happen, you know, in LA. All right. We see that, you know, with some of these things that, you know, these things that have blue and nothing really, they didn't burn, right? You know, and the palm trees, stuff like that, which is crazy too. And then he showed the little video I've seen, you know, circulating around where, you know, this light beam basically shines on these colors, right? And it burns through all these colors, but blue does not burn. Okay. Blue does not burn. Right. So he also showed a episode where you had Trump, right? And it looks like, you know, some, you know, Saudi Arabian people, you know, and they're holding this globe, right? And when you look, there's an actual picture, you know, of Trump, you know, doing that. And you see, like, it's pretty much similar. You had the same kind of thing. You had, the guy had pretty much the same, they have on almost the same attire, the whole same thing or whatever, you know, but, you know, it says predicted, but this is all, you know, predicted programming, you know, that E likes to use, right? They had the episode, I remember this when I was younger, you know, they were making the meat, you know, I believe it was with horse meat or whatever for the cafeteria for the school, you know, and then they have this stuff happening, you know. But E does a lot where he uses his media, all right, to kind of show what his agenda is, right? You know, when you think about just, it just reminds me, right, when you watch the cartoons or whatever, when you were younger, you know, you had that one villain and he would always, you know, tell out his whole plan before he was going to do it, right? And that's how E's mindset is, all right? And there's another one, of course, with the Trump 2024, right? You had the video of Trump, going down the escalator, at some type of mall, and then the same exact things, wearing the same exact outfit, right? The whole nine or whatever, Then they had where it talks about, the stock crashing, but we understand too, hey, that's probably going to be happening soon too, right? To go to this digital currency, that they're going to be pushing, all right, to the MOTB eventually, all right. So this stuff is, they show this stuff before, as part of their predictive program, and I'm going to get to what the definition of that too is. Of course, you had the submarine thing that they had with the Titan, right? And they, and people just like, oh, they did this, and it makes it look like it's like they're just predicting the future. They're, some kind of elaborate, but this is all stuff that they pre-planned or whatever. You know what I mean? This is like Lady Gaga and her little, I believe it's a Super Bowl or some kind of appearance or whatever that they had that, they had the U.S. winning the gold in the curling event, right? Against, I believe it was Sweden. And then, so the Simpsons had done it, and then it actually done. This is let you know too that, a lot of the sports stuff, all this stuff is pre-written, it's pre-written, of what's going on. And you can see that a lot of times, right? And, I see Jake, always talking about it. It's not far-fetched, all right? It's definitely not far-fetched. They had this where it's like in London, and you see this building that's like right by my man, right? And this was like, I think back in the day before he was even built. And then they have it actually there, the actual building or whatever, and you could kind of watch the video. If you want to go on YouTube, you can see, the little stuff that it is, but it's all predictive programming, all right, at the end of the day. And this is just E and his agenda, right? Because he's proud too, so he'll talk about it. He'll talk about it in front of you, right? And still do it, That's why when you have people who talk about, oh, the MOTB is not physical, how does everybody know it's physical? And then it doesn't matter, right? He's still going to push it. You know what I mean? But predictive programming, let's get that. So predictive programming is a concept that suggests ideas, situations, and new technologies are initially written into movies, TV shows, and books to prepare the general population for future societal changes. It is often associated with conspiracy theories and the idea that media subtly conditions people to accept planned changes by their leaders, right? And that's really what it is. All right. It says predictive program is the idea that the media is used to condition the public to accept planned future events. All right. And they do all that. You've seen several movies where they've done that, right? One that sticks out of my mind was like the little train derailment thing that they had, and damn near the same exact place where it was supposed to, I believe, taking place, it happened, with the chemical thing, trails and all this stuff, right? This is what E likes to do, all right? E likes to do this to condition the people of what's to come, all right? It says predictive programming is a theory that suggests media predicts or foreshadows future events. It says kind of the same thing, right? Reading at the top one, predictive program is a theory that media portrays future events to prepare people for societal changes, all right? And that's exactly what E does, right? He'll tell on himself, right? As the scriptures tell you, right? Let's get that real quick. I'm not going to make this too long. Let's go to it real quick. Right, so there's things too, and that's why it's important to constantly watch and see what's going on, because E puts stuff in your face, and then it's foreshadowed. Like you see it afterwards, like, oh man, they did that. There's a lot of movies. I'm sure brothers and sisters can think of other movies where they've done this, and then it happens, right? You had the even with these movies with the they had a movie, I believe, about the C-19, like a couple years or a year before it happened, right? These are things that they like to do, all right? Let's go to Psalm 64, right? In verse number 8, it says, so shall they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away, right? And that's what they do, right? They'll tell their stuff before it happens. They like to tell. They got their own people who be, trying to basically call them out, for the things that they're doing, But this is what happens. This is how this man is set up. All right. This is how this man is set up. And the scriptures tell you, you don't put it past, but this is the way the Lord he's the basis of men, and the Lord set him up that way. All right. So it says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. All right. So it says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And it says, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. Right? It says, set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place, neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked. All right. And you can't trust this man for as far as you can see him. Right. And even then, you can't trust him. You think about just all the different things that, I was watching, just even the news about the fires in LA. And, they had I was telling the brothers, they had a guy who they said was homeless, who was walking around with a flamethrower, and they just pushed this through the media like it's just okay. And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, where does the, not to say that, you can't be homeless, but where do you get a flamethrower? Where do you get a flamethrower? Right. And I just saw another article earlier where they had, people who they said were looting. Of course, they were all, people of the minority. You know what I mean? They had so-called blacks, Hispanics, and they had all them, booked for so-called looting, in these areas or whatever. But that's the agenda that they're pushing, right? Even with the homeless man, they put that he was trying to light up Christmas trees, and when I started reading the article, it was like lighting up Christmas trees, doing this and doing that. And then they had to put, he's an illegal immigrant, which is gonna further push the people towards that agenda, right? They push this stuff in front of you, so that when they push this agenda, yeah, you see, remember he did this and we got this on video, right? So they do all these different things, right? In the meantime, they're the ones throwing the rocks at the glass window, right? They're the ones that are doing all this stuff, that's putting all this stuff, and then they'll point their fingers at everybody else, right? And this is the stuff that they've already done. They put it in TV shows, movies, cartoons, the things that they're going to do. Then they try to blame it on somebody else. You know what I mean? But this is the predictive programming that E likes to push, he can't prophesy, but he can use predictive programming to push his agenda on what he does, right? Because he wants to be like the Most High, right? What is that? Is that Isaiah 14? Let's see. Isaiah 14. Let's see. And 14, right? It says, I will send above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High, right? That's what they ultimately, their whole agenda is to be, on that power level of the Heavenly Father, Yahawah, right? They want to, the all-seeing. They want to be able to track everybody, right? That's what this whole NWO is all about. All right. Their new world order, what they want to do is try to control everybody, right? What they've done so far is they've destroyed the earth, they destroyed the people, right? And now what they want to do is now control, the movements and doing everything else, right? This all, they're using this whole system basically to to set up their new world order, okay? Because they ultimately they want to be like the Most High, all right? But the thing is, that's why we have to continue to watch and pray, all right, and watch, the steps, right? What is that? Salakia. Let's go to 2 Corinthians 2. Let's go to verse number 11. Right? It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Right? We're not ignorant of his devices. All right? We're showing you, who this what is that? 2 Thessalonians. Right? We're not ignorant of his devices. All right? So it says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his device. We know about the predictive programming. We know about the order out of chaos, right? That he's going to use to try to bring in his agenda. All these things are, his plan to try to bring in his agenda or his NWO. Okay. And what we do is we go and we point him out because he tries to duck and hide and hide himself. But we show through his agenda and the things that he's doing who he is. All right. It says, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3, it says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, right? And he is being revealed. All right. And wherever he goes, we shine that light upon him, right? We shine that light of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash upon him. And we show him, the things that he's doing and what he's planning to do, right? Through the power and spirit of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash, we are steps ahead of him, all right? We already know what the outcome is going to be of his whole, while he continues to try to push it, right? Because the Lord has put it in his spirit to do it, right? We can see it, and we already know what's about to happen. Right, that he's going to try to push this MOTB, right, this agenda, right, with Revelation 13:16, right, and he's going to try to basically take over everybody in that, and then guess what? As soon as he's about to eat, right, Yahawashi is going to come and interrupt that party, man, right? But we understand, that the son of perdition, talking about Esau, right, starting with those top banking families, those elite top banker families on down. All right. And really it's those top banker families. Those are the ones who are really pushing this agenda. They're the ones who are putting these things in the movies, with the predictive program. They're the ones who are, they make the movies about like the zombies, talking about the Israelites, the Walking Dead, because the scriptures talk about how our dead bodies shall lie in that street because we're dead from the neck up. All right. Right, they do these things in mockery, and they do these things because they're proud, right? And they think that nobody sees what they're doing or sees their agenda, right? But we see it, right, through the power and spirit of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. All right, and we're not ignorant to that. Okay, so I just wanted to do that, just a little quick lesson. Like I said, you can look up and you can watch it, but it's you could actually just pop in Simpsons, whatever, and they show all that stuff, but but it's not just the Simpsons, it's movies and it's other things that they do, right? Because they want to get you used to it. Just how they're getting you used now to tapping your credit card or your debit card or your phone, on that device, because they want to get you pre-programmed to do this when they implement it, right? And it's going to be easier for people just to, go ahead and follow it, all right? But we are not ignorant to that, all right? And we see that and we call it out, all right? So I just want to do that, Lord's will. This video was edifying, right? With that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Halal Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Peace and blessings to the elect of the 12 tribes scattered abroad. A mighty shalom to the 144,000 men and to the rest of the elect. Stay diligent, stay focused, keep praying for one another. Keep watching and praying, all right? Because this devil is always up to it, his tricks to deceive, all right? And we can't be ignorant, all right? We can't be ignorant that he can get an advantage of us, right? But through the power and spirit of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash, we are steps ahead of him. And we can see the things, through the prophecies, before they unfold. And we try to warn the people before these things happen. All right? And with that, I want to say shalom.